Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online, the SLOTRO edition. This is Gnarlrynae here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlrynae. Good girl. When last we left off, we were here in the Prancing Pony. We were talking to Strider. Strider has told us that we have issues back in the Shire, that he has charges that he is waiting for here at the Prancing Pony. And he wants us to travel over to the Shire to Langland, who is on a rise north of the Buckland Gate. And let's find out whether or not he has seen any Nazgul and all passing through the Shire. After we have helped him with the Blackwool bandits. He had some travelers out of the Shire, and he needs to know we've had 5 Nazgul attack the Prancing Pony here, and he needs to know what has happened to the rest of them. So we are setting out in search of the Black Riders. So we are going to head on over that way, travel back down the road over to the Shire and to Buckland, and see if we can discover whether there are any news in that area of the Black Riders. First, we are going to visit a couple of the places here, do a little inventory management, get rid of some of the loot here from the last battle we fought, and then we will see you on the outside of the pony here. So I'll see you again in just, let's see what quest he's got first. Trouble in Buckland.
How can I be of service?
Newbury. Alrighty, trouble in Buckland. Gates broke apart. Alright, he's sending us back to Buckland as well, so we'll take this one. Quest level 14, Trouble in Buckland. A word if you've a moment, though if you're as busy as me, you haven't. What with all the troubles hereabouts, I think someone like you could be of help. There's trouble in Buckland, or so I've heard. Gates broke apart, little folk frightened, and worse yet, rumors of black riders in Buckland, like those seen moving through Bree. They say the Master Brandy Hall is looking for help by way of his young niece Kellandine. Brandy Hall is atop a high hill in the center of Buckland, on the east side of the Brandywine River. Follow the road west from Bree until you see the Brandywine Bridge, then turn south into Buckland. So we need to speak with Kellandine, or I guess Celandine, Brandybuck at Newbury in Buckland. Alright, there we go. I don't know if they would pronounce it like the elves or not. I would imagine it would be, I don't know. I don't know if they would say a hard or a soft C. Anyway, we are going to do a little bit of selling here, and then we will meet you outside. All right, folks, we have come back out of the Prancing Pony. We've gotten our inventory management done in there, as you see. Got things cleaned up quite a bit. We need to head on down to Buckland now, and that's what we are going to do. And we are going to head down there. We have not actually made, I think, the run from... don't think we've made the run from the Shire to Bree before. Because we came over here, the last time we were here, we came over here on a quest that, if I remember right, directly took us to Bree. Basically teleported us across. And that's how we were able, well, that's not how we were able. Every other time we've been over here, we have taken the stables, since the stables are automatically connected. So we are going to see about making the run across there now. I guess the easiest way to do it, actually, would be to pull this up. Let's pull up the map. Let's go out a level. And see, do we have any items of... select all. Campsite. Adzo's camp. It looks like we might have a few, although I think these are ones that we hit. These are probably ones as... I don't know. It looks like we've got places in the Barrow Downs as well. Yeah, why do we have Hoth Linen and all in the Barrow Down? The Barrow of Orson. I know we've not been to the... and I know like hell we've never been down there. This is weird. They put everything on here now? You don't have to discover anything anymore? It's annoying, it is. Anyway. In the meantime, I'm pretty sure we've never made the run, so that's what we're going to do here. Just truck it on across. enjoy the pretty scenery, because this is one of the prettiest runs in all there is. The Shire is just as beautiful, but the whole temperate area, you know, the whole place that's home to the hobbits. Anywhere around Breland, around Breetown here, any parts of the Shire, they're just some of the most rustic and idyllic areas, you know, that you can have, full of trees and forests and fields. And yeah, we got some wild animals here and there, but not in an overordinate abundance of them. And even here, they're low level. You know, you're not looking at anything above probably level 20. Even if you go wandering into the old forest, they're just mostly a danger to the hobbits over there, and not much else. So we will make the run back. Speaking of which, there's of course the road that leads up to the Barrow Downs. Not quite what we pictured from the books, but it is one way of having one way of turning it into almost a zone, as it were. That's the way all these games have to do. You'll notice they even starting back in World of Warcraft, they don't have zones. You know, World of Warcraft, even when it came out back in the day, didn't have zones, but it did still have zones. You know, you didn't have loading screens, but you still had pretty fairly defined choke points between the various areas that kept you from just, you know, wandering willy-nilly through them. It's like the Old Forest over there. Old Forest looks, as we've seen before, looks quite imposing and looks quite capable of us just walking from anywhere along here. You'll notice it's stretching all along the road. It would seem you could just wander into it at any time. Yeah, we've definitely, here's the most evident of all the indications of if we made a run this way or not. We haven't picked up the stable master. We would have picked up the stable master if we'd come this way. So
what do you need?
let's go ahead and grab the one here at Adzo's camp, shall we? But, you know, it's the form of you know, fake freedom, in that we can't make our way into the old forest there, except for in certain locations. There's probably about maybe 3 or 4 different ways on this side of it that you can get into it. Yeah, that's Mr. Adzo back there. Didn't visit him while we were at it. Still have to walk it out for the Blackwolds, of course. Even here, the Blackwolds are still a bit of a danger to everybody. They don't wander too close to the road, of course. But there you go. Hope everybody enjoyed all of the Harvest Fest and all that was going on, and the Haunted Burrow and all that. Didn't get to do as much of it as I'd wanted to. But I am expecting them. They've done a redux. They've done a 2-week revisiting of every single festival that's come along so far. So I am expecting, you know, in a week or two for them to revisit the Fall Festival for about 2 weeks. And have it appear probably at the end of this month, beginning of December maybe. Maybe we'll see another 2-week stretch on the Fall Festival and the Haunted Burrow here. That seems to just be their pattern as of late. So we'll see what happens there. It'd be nice to see some new festivals come in. It'd be nice to see some new festival grounds. Lord knows they've got enough new places down south with all of Gondor and now Mordor coming into the mix. You imagine some festival grounds around the area of Minas Tirith and just what that would look like. It would be quite interesting to see something like the Bree Festival grounds, but see it actually build up and not be in a... see, there's a perfect example right there of having to go around the Duskwolf. Having the area around the festival grounds not be a ruin, you know. Would be quite interesting. Although I'm supposing it would have to be in kind of a protected area. Minas Tirith, anyway, it would have to be a protected area, maybe back behind the city or something they'd have to add in. Or perhaps over close to the housing developments. Might be built off of the housing development. That would make it easy to get to, especially for low-level people. But it would also make it give a reason for why it wasn't lying in smoking ruins after the attack on Minas Tirith by the forces of Sauron there. And all the various orcs and uruks and trolls that have come through. Like I said, there is quite a few you have to look out for. We've got quite a few white level. Oh, the Crebain are still white level. They're still on a level with us. So, yeah, these things down this way might be quite interesting, mightn't they? All right, the first thing we're going to do is go up here and talk to Langland. He is right up here. He is the ranger that Aragorn has overlooking Buckland and ready to report back to him about what sort of things are going on in the Shire here. And we're supposed to go and talk to him and see if he has seen any black riders in these parts. If he's seen any of what could have happened to the rest of the black riders, the ones that weren't at Bree. We had our discussion last time, my rant about why everyone keeps assuming the Prancing Pony was attacked by black riders. So we will just leave off of that for now. Let's talk to Mr. Langland here.
How can I be of service?
Chapter 5, The Other Riders. Aragorn has sent aid. Nazgul, 4 more were in Buckland. They rode swiftly to the east upon black steeds. I was foolish enough to stand in the way, and they ran me down. I will heal in time, but the riders have left a threat in their wake that must be dealt with. I must ask for your help.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Chapter 6, In the Black Rider's Wake. In the Black Rider's wake, Crebain have taken roost. They are not the common strain from Dunland, but a breed I've not seen before. Likely these foul creatures keep watch on Buckland and the Shire, or at the very least me, since they have taken to staring at me in the night. While the Crebain may see nothing of interest, the fact that the enemy have eyes here is dangerous. If we were to blind those eyes, the enemy would not be assured in directing its efforts. If you would, dispose of the Crebain that roost in the southwest just beyond my camp. Even killing 1 Crebain will go a long way toward blinding the enemy. Okay, we need to kill 4 Crebain here. Easy enough. Let us go ahead and pull up, I think, Bobo. Yep, let's bring Bobo to the front. And we need to go down here and kill 4 Crebain. Let us see, there are quite a few scattered about. And I think this is where I first discovered just how much of glass cannons the Crebain are. Yep, see, we've already taken them halfway down with just our first attack there. Alright, that's one. You just wouldn't want to get like a whole pack of these. Maybe 2 at a time perhaps would be okay. Especially if you got your bear. Alright, that's 3 down. Let's get 1 more. How about you? Yep, didn't get you to hit you with my stick, did I? So like I said, that's where we first really noticed that all the winged creatures are a bit of glass cannons. There are a few things like the bats over there and the mayflies and stuff over in the Shire that we've run into before, and the various Hindrival over in the Arid Luine, but these are the first ones that can hit you pretty hard when they hit you, but can't stand up to too much. Let's talk to Langland again.
Greetings.
Good, you have slain those foul birds. The enemy will not be nearly as sure in their efforts now. However, I still have need of your aid. I must ask that you do something in Buckland, as it was their horn call that alerted me to the presence of the Nazgul.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Just so happens that's where we're going, Langland boy. Chapter 7, The Horn Call of Buckland. You say that Underhill is with Aragorn. I know of no Underhills. I was sent to watch over a hobbit named Baggins. Good job of keeping a secret there, Langland. I must assume that is whom Aragorn spoke of. That he is safe is welcome news, for my fears are somewhat allayed. It was late in the night when I heard the horn call of Buckland. Running to the road, I saw the Nazgul leaving Buckland at a gallop. I tried to stop them, but they ran me down. I feared they had already found Baggins. The 4 riders passed eastward toward Bree, but we may discover what they learned, if anything, at Baggins' home in Crickhollow. It is a cottage surrounded by a high hedge, almost directly southeast of the Buckland Gate. If you learn anything there, return to me. What news you can bring me may help determine the movements of the Nazgul. Okay, we will do that. We are also, once again, going to start picking up the quest here in town as well. Let's see what kind of quest the people of Buckland have for us. I think we can dismiss Bobo again, since we shouldn't have to be fighting nobody in here right at the moment. We are going to go on over here and talk to Miss Celandine Brandybuck first at Newbury, and picking up any other quests that we find along the way as we come on in. Right there's one of the other few ways into the old forest, past that tree right there. As I said, it's amazing how roped off many of these zones are. And then you have places like the Shire here, where the entire border between the Shire and Bree is basically one long zone line that you can come across. Mostly because there's nothing that they're trying to funnel you into. No particular area that's higher than the other. You know, you're going to go from the Shire to Buckland, or the Shire to Breeland. You know, anything beyond that, you're going to have a case of... what's that? Is that right over here? That's the Bounder, isn't it? Yep, that's the Bounder who's trying to get you to become a Bounder.
Might I have a word with you?
We are not going to talk to right now, because I don't think we're going to do stuff in the Shire at the moment. We have kind of, as you say, the gray ring over his head, we've kind of out-leveled everything over there already. And Sheriff Hobb here is probably the same thing.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Yep, it's to join the Bounders. So we will go on in. We should have quests. Yep, see, we've got real quests in here. Careful going back behind Brandy Hall. The marsh toads are dangerous. Okay, let's see what these 3 have to say. Ella Lillipon, Trumrick Ragwort, and Ted Reedy. You see some smashed wagons here, overturned barrels, a broken light post and all from where the Nazgul came through, and their speed and their haste.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Adso Haybank, my employer, aims to have fair to serve men as well as hobbits. Turmeric has people looking for mushrooms to serve hobbit fare, the envy of the 4 farthings. The fare for men comes from the bountiful boars and bears prowling the Bree fields. You should find the boars and bears north and east of the gates of Buckland, between the Brandy Hills and the borders of the old forest. Gather some meat, then return to me. So we've got to collect 8 bear haunches and 8 bear shanks. Look at what Ted Reedy has.
Would you do something for me?
Trophies for the walls. My employer, Adso Haybank's Inn, is to be a blend of Bree culture and hobbit sensibility. He asked me to employ folks to acquire items that will display the nature surrounding Bree to bring a lodge feel to the inn. I am prepared to pay those willing to do some hunting for suitable objects. North and east of town, between the Brandy Hills and the borders of the old forest, you will find bears, boars, and wolves. Adso has asked me to obtain a bundle of coarse bear furs, pristine bears' heads, and pristine bear corpses and wolf corpses suitable for stuffing. If you return these to me, I will pay you well. So 3 carcasses, 3 heads, 3 carcasses, and 10 hides. We can get that as well. Oh, I remember having Adzo's axe. I remember doing that one in the past.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
Adzo's axe was carried by Glenorin there for a while. The envy of the 4 farthings. Hello, I see that you are a person who knows your way around the wilder parts of the world, and so the offer I have for you will surely make your heart leap. I represent Adzo Haybank, an enterprising fellow from Buckland with a grand vision, a vision of building an inn along the Great East Road. He dispatched myself and these men beside me in search of willing folk to assist him with his dream. I seek mushrooms found along the banks of the Brandywine River to the north, mushrooms to fill and satisfy the belly with a bit of Shire hospitality. Beware if you go, though, for I've heard tell of slimy slugs and nasty vermin in the area. Would you collect some mushrooms for me? So we'll find those along the Brandywine River. I remember those were. You know, we saw some of those slugs whenever we were doing the Mariner's Quest, right up there beyond that ridge. Okay, we got those three out of the way. Let's head on further toward Brandy Hill down there in Newbury. There's Celandine. We've made it to Newbury here. Remember Celandine? She was one of the ones that was kidnapped, along with any Shire or menfolk whenever you're doing the introduction. Trouble in Buckland.
How do you do?
Mr. Butterbur sent you. He is such a pleasant fellow, always kind to travelers and reasonably honest and diligent. Well, at least he's honest. There have been some strange happenings here in Buckland as of late. If you need for work or adventure, I'm certain that I will find some here. There we are. And she has a quest for us. Good.
Might I have a word with you?
Lots of 14, 15, 16 level quests. This is definitely the place we needed to be. Old Forestry. Are you looking for work? Well, it's not much, but maybe you can do me a favor. I inquired about notes on the old forest from Farmer Maggot, and I still have not received them. Perhaps you would be willing to go to his farm and ask him where they may be. You can find Maggot's farm, Bam Furlong, in the Marish. That's the green hill country in the Shire across the Brandywine River. Cross the Brandywine Bridge and turn south on the river road. His farm won't be far away. The Buckleberry Ferry would be faster, but the Bounders want no one using it for the moment. Farmer Maggot doesn't like trespassers, but he's a good enough sort when you get to know him. So let's talk to him. Yep, I've had those gloves on my characters too. Talk to him at Bam Furlong. Okay, fantastic. So we have finished that one up and talked to Celandine. Let's see what else we've got here. Are there any more quests about? And see what kind of damage they've left in their wake. Don't guess they headed up this way. I love that. One thing I love is like, try pulling her tail. Maybe that will get her attention. They got a cow on the roof, trying to get the cow off the roof. Shoo, shoo! Get off of our house, cow. You're going to cave the roof in. Get along now, Miss Cow, get along. I dare say we should get one of the Bounders to help. If you think I'm going to waste another carrot on you, you can forget it. I love the little stories that go on in the background sometime with these things. It's like the ones that there used to be a group of people stuck in a hedge. Yep, try pulling her tail. Maybe that will get her attention. Used to be some people over there, and they may still be, on the north side of Bree. They're stuck in the hedge where their wagon rolled down the hill. Yep, wagon rolled down the hill out of control and got their head stuck. One of them's got his head stuck in the hedge and is sitting there. Boffin matriarch. Sitting there and got his head still stuck in the hedge and his little feet sticking out the side of it, waving in the air. Okay. You here? Yep. What kind of madman runs through a fence? I hope his poor horse is all right. Yep, he's repairing it. Where the Nazgul went flying through the fence here after they were chased out of Crick Hollow. They did quite a bit of damage, didn't they? You can pretty much follow the devastation right back over there to the Crick Hollow, can't you? That grumpy man with the pitchfork over there has been complaining about the sheep since he arrived. See, these were all knocked down as well, and he's replacing that one. You notice the one on the other side as well that's been knocked down, right over there. That grumpy man with a pitchfork over there. What grumpy guy with a pitchfork? Oh, that one there. Who is that? A shepherd. So yeah, right past the gate here. That's where they came out. Why they didn't just run across there, who knows? But yeah, that's where they went riding through fences and everything else. Some interesting abilities that the Black Riders had there, isn't it? Here is Crick Hollow. This is the place where Frodo moved after selling the bag end, of course, to the Sackville Bagginses. Moved down here as part of the deception that he was gonna just settle down and live a nice, quiet, normal life, which of course he did not do for the next year. Okay, there we go, Fredegar Bolger. I am going to do one more thing. We will pick up with Mr. Fredegar here next time because I know he's got a bit of an adventure that goes along with him. Instead, we are going to travel on up through this area of Crick Hollow. I guess this is kind of the more quieter, enclosed. I mean, you'll notice, you can tell that you're close to the old forest because, as they say, I think it talks in the books about the fact that is it the people in Buckland locked their doors, or maybe it was the people in the Marish over there that locked their doors at night, the ones that were close to the old forest. We picked this one up already? Yeah, we've got that one already, so we've got him. Yeah, people of the Brandywine, people of Buckland, and the people of the Marish and Stock and all locked their doors at night, which was quite unusual for people in the Shire. And as you notice, most of them have like hedges and gates around their houses as well. Just a little added bit of protection coming from having to be so close to basically the wild, so close to the old forest. I mean, we've seen what kind of stuff there is in the old forest before on Gnarlo and on Glenora, as they've said before, it's one of the last pockets of the original old forest that used to stretch before the world was bent. Back in the First Age, when what was the name of Beleriand? Was that over there with Nargothrond and Gondolin and all the areas that sank beneath the waves? The forests that stretch from the edge of the sea all the way to the Misty Mountains. This and Fangorn Forest are two of the last pockets of that forest that remain, you know. Okay, so that is where we are going to stop. We will sit here looking down at the Hobbit and his boat, which is another thing that the people of this part of the land do that the regular hobbits think are crazy. You know, they go out on boats onto the river. Absolutely crazy. Absolute foolishness. Foolishness, I tell you. Okay, there is Brandy Hill. We will stop here. And next time, that is where we will pick up. We will go over there to Crick Hollow and talk to the inhabitants, see what Fatty has to tell us about what happened and what those Black Riders might have been after while Mr. Underhill and the boys were still there. So that is where we'll leave off. We'll think about that. We'll think about whether we are going to go pick up some quests to go into the forest, or whether we are going to go into the fields above the forest in Breetown next. And we will see you next time. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.